So we're working on a stream. I'm trying to see if it's just gonna go through without me touching it, or, I'll have to do something with it. So let's just see if it pops in. So I see everybody that popped in. I also see this one on this side. I'm waiting for this one to kind of kick in. So I guess it kicks in on that way on that side, but it didn't kick in on the other side. So again, I'm kind of transparent. I'm not even sure why I'm transparent like that, but we just want to kind of get this class 15 started. So some of you already have completed your CPT session. You don't need me to complete your CPT session. You can do that on your own. Okay, this is just the guidance to put you in the right place. Okay, this is to put you in the right place. So one of the things that we need to make sure that you have is your books. Um, the CPC guide, we did go over that the other day. So just make sure you guys have that CPC guide, okay? Because that's like at the end of your courses. This was I think it was 11:15 class, 11 o'clock class, but I had to delay the class. But anyway, you guys can archive this. If you guys are on Twitch, you guys go roll over to Sapphire Physician Coding 4309 or Sapphire Education 4309. Is one of them. If you type in Sapphire Physician Coding, you go ahead and get my YouTube. Okay. I'll put it up here on the side in a few minutes. So, the chapter 3 that we're working on. Okay, we did the ICD 10. You remember we did the ICD 10. So now we're working on the CPT and the Hicks picks. So this is where you need to have those books at. Uh, I already put the links below where you can get it from the ICD 10 Kindle, from the Kindle ICD 10. Click the link and it should drop you right in there. You don't have to purchase nothing. And all three of the books are there, or all four of the books are there. The step by step book is also there as well. And this is to get you abreast on the coding and what the coding is, okay? And to get you going on a step by step basis. The step by step book is how you're going to learn how to code. Um, Nobody's really showing you how to code. You are taking in the information and you're teaching yourself how to code. You read something, you learn something. You read something, you retain something. So nobody's holding your hand to do anything. You are the one who is doing the work. All of the books that are mentioned in the Sapphire Physician Coding class is what you will use to pass your exam. It's what you will use to pass an entrance exam when you're getting hired at a facility. Uh, you have to remember what you are reading. Yes, you have to remember what CMS means. You have to remember um, what quality codes or revenue codes. Okay, but again, the more you do it, the more you will retain. The more you do it, the more you will retain. So this class is we're still in chapter 3, but it's still more about developing your skill, developing what you say. Oh, I want to do that. Now it's time for you to start developing that skill, developing what you have taken an interest in. So, uh, today we're going to be doing your step by step. We are going to be doing the chapter sections, okay? The sections, I want you guys to have your CPT book with your step by step. And from the other day, you guys should have pretty much looked through the CPT book, kind of see what's in there, what's going on in there. Take a look at the codes, take a look at the sections. The sections are the groups of what's in there. That's what we're going to go over today. And um, I would put them on index cards. I put them on index cards with the series. The series is, let's say 20,000 is the series of musculoskeletal system. I think 40,000 is diabetes or something like that. That kind of stuff I do want you to put there. That way, when you take in your test and you need to get to the diabetes section, you already know where it is. Boom. Okay. Remember the stickies and the labels I told you to put on there. You already know where they're at. You can go to the website and take a look at those, or you can go straight to. I think Amazon has those too. Amazon has them too. But when you go to Sapphire Coding, it's just a one-stop shop. I just have everything in there where you can just click and you can order from there. Okay. So what's next? So after you guys are done with the sections and the chapters, then we're going to move on. Okay, but this is to again get you used to those sections and start getting you used to taking your test. Now, if you have the CPT book, CPT, if you have the CPC, Certified Professional Coder Guide already, you can now start looking at it. I mean, we're in the CPT section, we're in the physician coding section, but if you have your book, go ahead and start looking at it, and you can start taking those tests back there. Remember what I said, don't write in your book, because you're going to take those tests over and over until you feel good enough that you're ready to take your exam. All right, so don't write in your book. Okay. um the step-by-step book, I mean, you can write it if you want to, but it's repetitious. You have tests in there. I want you to read those tests over and over until when you start getting those questions, boom, 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 here you go, boom. That's when you start to get used to the coding. Just do it over. It's like any chore. Oh, I got to do this today. Yes, if you want to retain, just like when what's his name, agents talking about people being consistent, on the Twitch, and something else he was talking about. It's the same thing. I mean, you really want to do good, so you want to kind of do over and over. Okay, so every time we get like on the ball, we want to stay on the ball, because once you kind of slack off a little bit, you really don't want to do it no more. You just feel like, oh, okay, now I got to start all over. Okay, so I'm just gonna pull up. Let me move the AAPC out the way. Okay, you guys should still have that book. You can go to aapc.com and get the guide from there, if you want to. I like to get it from there because I know they got the most current one, and I'm not sure why that looks like that, but let's get rid of that. This must be something new going on there. Okay, so let's put this in here. A lot of times when I do mention stuff, I want to try to put it there. Some of you that don't know about, I'm gonna slide this across the room. Some of you that don't know about, yeah, that's cool. AAPC, I'll put the website right here for you guys to kind of take a look at it. Okay. Um, and Twitch, same thing. You guys can also take a look at that, and so you guys can kind of get the feel of what AAPC is and what we do with AAPC, what kind of tests we are studying for. Um, so, in our little chats, I mean, that's what we talk about. We talk about AAPC, we talk about things that we're going to do. I'm also going to put that, I'm going to put that link back up there with the CPC. Let me see. Oh, that's the Kindle one. Okay, yeah, we can put this up there. Let's put this here. Let me see if I can get it right now. Yesterday we had a couple of issues trying to get this thing out. I think I got it right. If it poses right, the purpose of this is so that you can, there it is. The purpose of this is so that you can have quick links in case you don't have your books already. Okay, this again, there's nothing rushy about, you know, doing a course online, um, when you are not in a time base. Okay, I do have a schedule for my students who have enrolled in the class, to give them a timeline as to what they are doing. But generally, the Sapphire Physician Coding class does not give a timeline. When you when you start feeling comfortable with doing your coding, that's when you're ready. It's not, if you fail any of the tests, if you fail, I'm talking to white to you. If you fail any of the quiz that are in the back of the book, take it again. Read the content again, take it again. Okay, give yourself a week or so and then take it again. Okay, so don't get all blogged out the way when you don't pass something. You don't pass something, you just take it again. Okay, so again, look on the side. I have books on the side for you guys that you can kind of look at that are actually free. The language of medicine book actually comes with the Sapphire coding class. Okay. Um, the Twitch people, the TikTok people, you guys go ahead over to YouTube and you can get some of these links that are actually already there. And there is also a link to the language of medicine book. The YouTube and also the Twitch, and all of y'all in here who come in here and archive the medical billing and coding Q&A book is also there for your use. In case you know somebody who wants to do or start medical billing and coding who have not done it before. Um, that book was given to YouTube as a courtesy. So you guys can also head over there and get that book. That book is on my website. I don't know, I think it's like 29.99, and I think I have it on Amazon, but it's free on YouTube. You guys go ahead and get that. That book, you have some people that are changing professions, and they want to know, well, what is, what is billing? What do they do in hospital billing? What do they do in a registration and hospital billing? What do they do in accounts receivable? What is coding? What is revenue codes? What is a 1500 claim form? The medical billing and coding Q&A book that I've written myself, that's going to give you those answers. When you go over to YouTube University, the book is already in there. It's going to say medical billing and coding Q&A book. So that's my courtesy for YouTube, and for thanking you guys for even watching any of the videos that we put out there. Okay, because there are people who don't know. I mean, you guys know I had issues with, if I talk about coding, some people will talk about billing. And so that's why I was able to combine them together so you guys can know. So again, even if you already work in that field and you just want to ask a question, you could always do a DB to me. DB as in discussion board. Y'all know I'm about to say discussion board is everything. Discussion board is Twitch. Discussion board is however we have a discussion. If some of you are already getting ready to take your coding test, ask the question. When you take your coding test, don't forget your calculator. Get your little hand pocket calculator, okay? Make sure you have plenty of pencils that's already sharpened. Okay, make sure you also have scrap paper. Make sure you have scrap paper. Okay, don't ask me what it's for. Just make sure you have it. Okay. Um, and again, we are in the gist of the coding section, and we're in the CPT section. So in the step-by-step book, this section is going to give you insight on how you're going to be doing the coding. What best insights did you have about the coding? So I'm not sure if you got your books, but I'm going to go ahead and pull this one up. We're still in Unit 3. You guys remember we're in Unit 3. Um, and within that Unit 3 are your chapters. Your chapters are in there, okay? Mine is a ebook, so it's a little bit different than yours, but when you get your book, it is going to be the same type of process, okay? Uh, the purpose of this is to make sure that you can take notes. Make sure that you're able to retain your information. Okay, it's kind of hard, but like when you guys, most of you guys are at work right now. You guys are gonna archive this. That's fine, but I want you to make sure when you get ready to start looking at some of these videos, make sure you have a notebook or something to write in. Okay. So I'm just going to kind of run down the line. You guys already have your book. I don't need to really put this up. Introduction to CPT. Okay, so this again, is your introduction to your CPT series. Okay, and I'm going to show you that Kindle book. That Kindle book is the same thing. It's the same thing as, let me get it here. It's the same thing as what I look at, because you guys know all of my books are ebooks that I use for you. So let me find that. Let me find that one. I thought it was more or less one of the last ones that I get. I have so much stuff up here. I'm gonna take it down. Take some of this stuff down. And again, when you go into Kindle, you don't have to purchase anything. unless you want to. If this is the book you want, yeah, this is what you're gonna purchase. So uh, this is your CPT book. Okay, this is the CPT book that you need to use with your step by step book, because in this section, I'm gonna go through those chapters of what you should be studying. Okay, so don't get discouraged when you see a lot of work that you need to do. You're just going to pan it out. That's all you're going to do. So I'm gonna get back in here. So you guys should have your book. So I don't really need to keep that up long, but I'm gonna go back in here just to kind of show you, what's the first thing you're gonna look at. If from the beginning of the book, you're not going to sleep on anything. You guys remember when I said I want you to go through page by page. Why, Miss Lambert? Because on your CPC, there will be something from each section of your CPT book. Here, yes, we went over symbols in the beginning of the class. Yes, we went over symbols at the beginning of the class. But throughout your course, you are going to see these symbols in different sections, in different chapters. So you need to make sure that you get used to them. And not that, okay, you're going to take your test and why, Miss Lambert, my book is going to be right in front of me. It's going to stop you from having to waste a few seconds to go to the front of the book and find it. You know what I'm saying? Once you kind of get used to what they are, oh, okay, boom, I know what that is. Boom, I know what that is. Get the answer. Oh, let me go to the front and get no. You're not going to have time to be doing that. That's why I want you to go ahead and retain as much as you can. So, and like I said, in your CPT book, you're going to go through each chapter. You're going to look at your symbols. You're going to look at your modifiers. Modifiers is going to be one of the next ones we do. Okay, and this is basically to get you used to your book. Modifier 59 is going to be a doozy. Distinct procedural service. Distinct procedural service. I mean, can somebody tell me what they think distinct procedural service means? It's in your book, but for you to pass this, look at me, for you to pass this test, it's easier for you to know these different types of terms. Distinct as in separate. You might have two providers or two surgeons working on a patient. He may be working on the foot, he may be working on the left leg. It's two distinct services, they are different. So, when that happens, you need to drop that 59 modifier, which is very common. 59 and 62 is very common, they use all the time. Okay, so that's just us giving you a little bit of what you're going to be looking at. Your category 3 modifiers, these are more likely used in anesthesia. Why are they giving the anesthesia? Why? What is the reason for the service? 3P category 2 modifier, performance measure exclusion modifier due to system reasons. There's so many different things in here that you need to use. Anesthesia physical status modifiers, that's what I meant for the first one. P1, okay? Anesthesia's a doozy, so don't get caught up with anesthesia. You ain't gonna get like 3 questions anyway. A normal healthy patient, P1. A patient with mild systematic disease, P2. This is in your book, so you guys already have your books, okay? Modifiers approved for hospital patient services. I'm just gonna put this up real quick. But again, these are modifiers that you're going to be using throughout your tests, okay? When I finish with you guys, I have 2 hours to read myself. So, I mean, I want you guys to set 2 hours. I have to still push myself and put my own time to do certain stuff. So, I have my own type of reading that I still need to do. So, don't get discouraged. If you guys don't see me come on and you don't see class 16, I want you guys to still continue going on. Do not get sidetracked. Continue going on. I can only do like a limited amount on the YouTube, but I do enough to get you guys going. Okay, I kind of like the nighttime. I find that you guys do look at the videos more in the morning, so that's why I started doing more in the morning. But I have a lot more time at night to kind of, give you guys a little more. But we'll work on that. For now, just make sure you have your book. Okay, and remember, look below. Those links below give you places where you can get the book. It gives you free books down there. It gives you all the links that you need. There's also a link in there. I think that the tuition for Sapphire is now either 400 or something like that. But I had like a special thing for YouTube for $59 and $9.99. Y'all can still use that because I haven't taken that out. So when you go on my website and you see that the course is 400, use what you see in YouTube. If you use what you see in YouTube, it's $59 for the YTU. The YTU is YouTube University. So that's the reason why I made this class for YouTube University. Okay, so the YTU, that discount is for you. That free book is for you. Twitch, Kick, Instagram, y'all slide over there and get that, and then y'all can go ahead and get that. The book is free in there, and the Sapphire admission is free as well. Okay, so again, this is CPT class. This is we're in chapter 3, and we're just kind of going a little bit through this book because I want you guys not to sleep on the first portion of this book. You see where it says level 2 HCPCS National? This is going to be your test. Yes, Miss Lambert. E1 is upper left eyelid. Upper left eyelid. These are modifiers. E2, lower left eyelid. So in this class, we're going to do these. Let me make sure you guys are looking at this. In this class, we're going to do these modifiers. I haven't put them up. I'm putting them up now. In this class, we're going to do these modifiers. But I just want to make sure that you know in the front of your book, this is where you should be at. So when you guys see me going over stuff and I don't have both out or I might have one, know that whenever I'm doing the step by step, you need to have the book that corresponds to what we are doing. Okay, you need to have the book that corresponds to what we're doing. Okay, and this is me just showing you how to independently learn what you need to. Okay, independently learn what you need to. Right hand third digit F7. Okay, when you see this in the records, you know what to do. So here I am on place of service codes for professional claims. What's place of service codes, Miss Lambert? Place of service codes are what we put on the 1500 or the UB94 as to where the patient was. Where was the service done? The 02 telepro, the location. Okay, it's kind of cut off on here because I'm not going to show you this whole thing on the ebook. I have to shrink it. But you guys are still getting the same thing. 03, where? Where was the patient in the school, in the facility? 04 is a homeless shelter. Okay, 05 is health service freestanding facility. 6 is health service based facility. So I'm just kind of running through, but you guys can see pretty much what I'm looking at. There are people who do, I think one of my sister's little friends or my niece's little friends, she works at the jail. And at the jail, she does the billing at the jail, at the correctional facility. No, yeah, they need billers too. No, absolutely, absolutely. Trainer, no, listen, everybody needs billers and coders. Trust me. She does the billing and the coding for the prisons. And you see that 09 for facility, that's for the prison. So, no, absolutely. If there's a facility, is it mental health, correctional? Well, I don't care what it is. Somebody has to do the coding for the billing. If you have, if you have people there and the inmates are getting hurt, the bill still has to go out. If the doctors is there, the nurse is always there. In a facility, it's just like a hospital. When you go in there, they check you or however. Yeah, they still have to get paid. But anyway, I know it's crazy. You still have to. I don't care what kind. I mean, now don't be scared to work in a jail. Don't be scared to work in a jail, because in a jail you gonna have your own big office. You are the only one who gonna be in revenue cycle. You are the one who going to be dropping those claims. Okay, whichever hospital is close, you're going to be connected to that Epic system or that Athena provider. Eh, Trust me. Eh, Yes, and some of them actually, work home just like everybody else is working home. I'm used to working home, but sometimes I'm not gonna lie. Sometimes I miss going in. That's why I said I'm tempted to go back in. So I still may go back in. It's just the people. When you're working at home, it's just like you. But don't sleep on it. Okay. So again, '09 is the jail. Okay, 10 is the telehealth. 11 is office visit right here. 11 is office visit. 12 home. 13 assisted living. Okay, so we don't need to go over the whole thing, but you guys understand what I'm saying as far as place of service. 21 inpatient, that's going to be a regular. Okay, ambulatory. 26 military. 25 birthing. But again, let me come back. So this is just to kind of give you um, insight on the different types of places that people actually do have service. So, as a medical biller or coder, you will be dropping those types of codes. So as you can see, there's a lot more to billing and coding, or even coding, than just we're just dropping codes. We still need to know some of the skills of a medical biller. As a coder, you have to know those because you need to know where you dropping a code to. You might have an inpatient code, outpatient code. That's different. You see what I'm saying? So just kind of be precarious of that. Okay. So again, for some of y'all who just came in, or some of y'all who going to do your archive, we're going over the CPT book just randomly, because you guys, in order for you to get through this section, you need to have your CPT book and your step-by-step book. We've already done ICD-10, so I'm expecting you to have had your book for that already, because once we go into the more advanced classes, we're going to start. We're going to start coding. So this is us talking about the coding and what you're going to see, the cases that you're going to do. The medical billing side we've already done. So some of you who missed the medical billing class, go back to the playlist for medical billing. Okay, go back to the playlist for medical billing, and then you will see that. Okay, so again, what I would do is just start reading your book. Just take it from the beginning and read it. I'm gonna stop right here because you see right here where it says use of copyright protection technology and CPT. I want you to read this section. Why, Miss Lambert? Because this tells you about AMA, the people who are responsible for this book. So what if you have a question on your chest that says who created the CPT? Who is responsible for the CPT? Who is responsible for the copyright? You understand what I'm saying? So, or whatever is in this section, you may have something like that on your CPC. Okay? You may have something like that. I'm telling you, when I was studying, I'd be tired, and I just wouldn't give up. I just kept on. I don't care. I'd be sitting in that chair. I'd be like this, and then I'd be like, cause at that point you're so scared that you're gonna fail that you just keep studying. That's not what I want y'all to do. 2 hours, that's it. 2 hours and that's it. Okay, that's what I want y'all to do. But anyway, you see this right here. I want you to go over that because um, and some of this may be on your exam. Yeah, they will ask you some of this. Okay, so this is crucial about CPT. Okay, make sure you read this section. No, we're not gonna go through this section because we don't even have that much time. We're in 28. I can't believe we're in 28 already. Read this section, okay? And these sections that I'm showing you are before we even get to the gusto. Accountability Act, this means XYZ, financial and administrative health services. Yes, I want you to read that. Why, Ms. Lambert? Because they're going to put some of this on your test. Why do they put some of this on your test? Because they want to see if you have mastered this book. They want to see what you know. You understand what I'm saying? And trust me, it's not a long book. With the books that I gave you, the step by step is the teaching book. Okay, that's how you're going to follow the guide. of how to do your coding, okay? The committees we don't need, these are all people who all had a hand in making this book. Okay, they ain't gonna ask you, who did what or who so and so. These are people who they asked for their insight. Like they would send all of us like an email and say we would like you to participate in the new CPT book. Can you give us what you would add into the book or your insight onto the book? What do you think about coding deliveries? What do you think about epidural? And then you would give your insight within the book, and then they put it in here, and they put your name in there. They put your name and they put your credentials in there. So that's what that is when you guys get ready to see that. Okay, so you don't need to steadfast on that. But you know what it is. I just told you. So once you get to the content, it's just telling you what's in the book. It's just telling you what's in the book, what you're going to be looking at in the book, the suffixes, surgical procedures, level of E&M services. And if you notice how this book is derived, it's the same way how the step-by-step book is. If you see how, do you see it's the same way? The Sapphire Academy is built the same way. I made my program around all of these books. Okay, so again, don't sleep on that. Don't sleep on that. So I'm just gonna kind of go through because I only got like 30 minutes. Evaluation and management, which we get ready to do anesthesia guidelines, anesthesia, surgery general, radiology. So again, I want you to take your time. Digestive system, urinary system, male genital system. Same thing that we're going to go over. This is what we're going to do. I'm gonna cut this short because this was just kind of letting you know what's in this book. Okay, so let's eye that out. Okay, so let me get you a book that we're on. So you guys can see same thing I was talking about. I'm gonna let you see that. See, same thing. The CPT book and the step by step is like it's the same thing in there. So just take heed to that, and it's all about it's all about studying and focusing. I mean, everybody can't focus. I mean, a lot of people got stuff going on. But most you can do is just kind of focus on what you want to do and what you want to kind of accomplish. Sometimes these times and what it is right now is so confusing. I mean, you don't know which one to right from left. Just take your time and make your decision on how you want to lead. Okay, so introduction to CPT we did. Introduction to Level 2 National Code. Hicks Picks we did. Modifiers, we just went over the modifiers. We did not go through the modifiers as in depth. So modifiers are next as far as what we're getting ready to do today. We did just go over several of them. So modifiers are definitely useful, especially when you need to put one to a service that was changed or a service that was modified. That's what the modifiers are for. So the modifiers definitely make the reimbursement different. It might make it be more, it might make it be less, but it definitely changes the assignment. Okay, because like I said, you remember we were talking about two surgeons versus one, two separate body parts being worked on versus one. That's what modifiers are. They change the circumstance. Okay, so in your CPT, I'm gonna put this up in your CPT. What I would do is I would just if you have an ebook, even if you don't have an ebook, you're gonna see all this explained underneath. I have my ebook, so that's why this is here, and all I'm going to do is click on it, and it should kind of open that. But again, modifiers 22, 26, they're all going to be in there. So I'm gonna go in and because as I read now, you're going to see it anyway. See how it shows you how modifier 22 is. So modifier 22 through 26, it's increased procedural services. So yeah, you're going to read this because you may have it on your test. You may have it on your test. In your CPT book, they're in your CPT book anyway. But again, it's all about knowing where your stuff is in your CPT book. Once you read your CPT book that first time and then you read it again that second time, you succumb to the book. You're going to be turning where you need to turn, or you're going to be retaining. So 22 is increased procedural services. Modifier 22 indicates that the services was greater than usual and require increased physician work above and beyond normal. So they did more. They took more time and they did more. If you just kind of go down, for example, if it is a normal 45 minutes to provide the services and the surgeons took 90 minutes, you need to use 22. So again, I mean, this is like so interesting, and you never know. You don't know how much it may increase unless you put the code in there. You can literally see in Epic, if you put the code in there, Epic will tell you how much it's going to be. But again, if you add that 22, you are looking for more money for that. We're looking for more money for the providers. That's where the expertise comes from the coder. So at least you guys can get a little bit more insight of where the expertise comes from for the coder. That we have to get the money, and the money has to be right. We can't upcode, we can't downcode. At least we don't want to. Okay, at least we don't want to. Okay, so in retrospect to the modifiers, that's what you're going to do in terms of that. Okay, so the 23 unusual anesthesia, 24 unrelated evaluation, and there's only one CPT book. So when you guys hear me saying, which ICD-10 book you're going to use, there's several ICD-10 books. The CPT, there's only one, so that's the one that you're going to use, the AMA. The rest of them are add-ins or just name changes or whatever it is. American Medical Association, that's the book that you're going to use. So again, when you start looking at these modifiers, it gives you insight on how you're going to get this money for your doctor and how the money is going to be legit. Okay, so like I said, when you add these modifiers, that money coming in. If that modifier is not justified, don't use it. Don't use it if it's not justified, okay? And how you use the modifiers, you have your 5-digit code or your 6-digit code, XYZ. You're going to add your modifier on your claim, and it's going to make it more. If the service was only 40 minutes and it required 90, my provider need to get his money, okay? And because you guys remember what I said, when you work in a physician office, you and your provider's literally right hands. When you work in a hospital, you might be a little bit of a needle in almost a haystack, because you're going to have coders everywhere. You have about 100 something doctors. But when you work in a doctor's office, that's your right hand. That's your right hand. You make sure he get paid so this clinic can stay open. When it's a hospital, you're talking about they getting grants from all over the place. They're getting government money. They're getting, you know what I'm saying? But when it's a doctor's office and he done put his hard-earned into this doctor's office to make this office a go, he's expecting his right-hand retinal cycle person to be on point. I know plenty of doctors who, just graduate from school, and, they get discouraged. You know what I'm saying? I remember y'all told about my girl. She said, hi, mother. I was like, well, why would you do that? It wasn't hair. At least I'm all over the place. You know what I'm saying? When you meet a provider, you guys showed up my girl. She be on Instagram going door to door looking for. I don't do that. What she do is something totally different than what I do. But that goes to show you how powerful the billers and the coders are with their providers and the doctors. You guys let me know if you heard the word on the street. Let me know if you hear coders being let go. Let me know if you hear billers being let go. Let me know if you've heard revenue cycle directors let go. No, that's finance. That's money. We're not going anywhere. Somebody has to get their money for these companies. The finance department is the money department. That is where we come from. That is what I'm reading you for. This is the finance department. Okay? The codes get the money. These modifiers that you guys are looking at right here, if you have to alter that case, you have to use a modifier. If you don't, then it's coded wrong. We're going to get a kickback. We're either going to get a kickback or we're going to be short paid. And then we've got the revenue cycle. Accounts receivable is going to have to go through all this again, and then they're going to start sending stuff back to the coding department. Okay, so that's why the modifiers are very, very important. Okay, so as you're studying, just make sure you take heed to what you're studying. And again, you have to be serious about what you're doing, especially when it comes to this. One of my girls, she literally taught herself. She's reading and reading and reading. She was home. She was getting unemployment. She said, Miss Lisa, I didn't know what to do, and that's what I did. And I told her, that's why I'm going to hire you, experience or no experience. And I mean, this girl was straightforward. You should have seen her. She wasn't bigger than a minute, and she was straightforward. She said, I studied and I passed this exam, but I really don't know how to code. I don't know anything about it. I just knew that I wanted to challenge myself and do it. My face almost hit the floor. I said, so if I give you this him test, you don't know if you're going to pass it or not? She's, she said, no. At that point, I told her, I said, you know what? I said, I'm going to give you this test anyway. And I'm also going to take a copy of your certification. And I told her, don't worry if you pass or you fail. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about whether I'm going to hire you or not. Because you did an accomplishment in taking an exam and passing it with no student loan. But guess what? She passed that test with an 87. She passed that test with an 87. And I would have hired her anyway. If she failed that test, I would have still hired her. Based on her wit, based on her knowledge, based on the fact that she thrived and passed that test. You see what I'm saying? So that's why I'm trying to tell you, you have to have a thrive to do it. It's hard. I mean, that's just like sitting in front of a computer when you work online. Just like y'all, when y'all get ready to work online, you working. But when you ain't, you just gotta climb up to get in there. Once you hit there, once you get in this classroom, you stay. Once you get in this classroom, you stay. If you don't see me on here live consistently, I'm on the street. Look at another video. Put headings on your pages. Join the Sapphire Academy. I have pages in there. I have documents in there that keeps you abreast on what you're doing. I have a schedule in there for you. If you miss a few days, you can get back to it. I have a syllabus in there. That's why I always encourage you guys to join the Sapphire Academy. Go to YouTube. It's $59.99. I think it's just $400 on the other site. But go to YouTube, okay? All of the tools that I have in there will help you pass this test. It's unfortunate that I can't get on here as much as I want. I can't. But I want you guys to still study and do what you have to do to make a change, especially if you want to change your profession. It's 42 minutes, okay? So again, these are the modifiers. Let's review a couple of other examples of modifiers. That's my guy right there. There's a modifier you're going to use all the time. Twitch, if you don't know nothing about modifiers, you're going to learn right now. Now, Twitch, I can't record for you. Okay, I can't record for you. And those of you guys who are in my YouTube, shoot over to my Twitch and subscribe to my Twitch. Okay, because, in order for me to do more for you, I got to start getting monetized. I can't seem to get monetized on YouTube as quick as I want to. That's why I cannot be on here every day. But Twitch can help us, and then I can give you more. So let's review a couple of other examples of modifier. The 25 is going to be your most crucial. A patient presence for repair of a laceration. Intermediate laceration repair. Intermediate laceration is a small laceration, and a laceration is a cut. Okay? Yeah, I know that's your 10,000 series. That's your 10,000 series, okay? And the question asked by the physician were related only to the laceration repair, okay? In this case, the E&M as an evaluation and management service is included in the laceration repair, not reported separately. However, physician documented the patient had elevated blood pressure and a history of hypertension, and the physician evaluated and treated the hypertension condition, and he used modifier 25. Why? Because he did a couple of things in there. This is also, I love that 26. I'm trying not to give it away everything, but this is also in your CPT. Remember, your modifiers are also going to be there, okay? But I'm just kind of giving you a heads up. 25, professional component. That's one you're going to use multiple times, okay? You're going to use that one a lot as well. Okay, so again here, I think you guys can see what I'm looking at. This is what you're going to do is for your exercise, because it is already in there. Okay, it's already in there. So if you are in Twitch, YTU, TikTok, or Instagram, and you don't have access to Sapphire Academy where those tests are in there, which I'm going to be in there this afternoon. I'm going to be in there about, as soon as I finish this, I'm going to go in there. If you guys want to do the Sapphire Academy and you take that discount that's on YouTube, let me know. Send me an email. I'm gonna put my email over here. Okay, let me know because it's not going to kick in if you when you use that discount. That is the discount for, is it PayPal? Yeah. So it's physicians at sapphirecoding.com. So you're going to email me if you do that. Let me put it. Okay, so let me fix that right there. Y'all know I got these nails on. I know my mother used to wear her nails this long. Can y'all see? And y'all know I don't, but I honor my mother, and that's why I've been keeping them long. Matter of fact, I'm gonna get them touched up. I know it's terrible. Um, I know. I have been doing all kind of stuff. My grandson's birthday again. No, this is the other one. And I took him roller skating the other day. And yeah, I was out there making a fool of myself. Uh, I ain't telling y'all how old I am. Y'all already know how old I am, but I ain't gonna sleep. I mean, I can still roll. But next time I'm going on adult night. Yeah, we're going on adult night. Okay, so if y'all take that YouTube special that I go on it. You will get a Sapphire email. You can get into Sapphire Academy, review everything I have in there. All these chats are in there. We do one-on-ones in there. I tell you about the program. I'll tell you how to pass your test. Anytime you get stuck, you let me know. If you guys go on the website, every single thing is in my website that you need. If you go to my website, you can order everything from books to tabs in there. Okay? If you go on the website, this is for you too, Instagram. But this is for you too, Instagram. Oh, and you know what? I totally forgot I was going to try to join everybody in. I tried to do it yesterday, y'all, but I could only get two in there. I switched to the paid one and it didn't let me do it. So I got to figure out how to do it. But anyway, don't sleep on me, y'all. Um, because I have been going from state to states, I have not sat down yet. That's why y'all see my background how it is. Y'all know I usually have my desk and I'm sitting at my desk with all of my junk around me. But I find this easier for you guys as well, especially when I'm moving around and I'm in different places. But make sure you take heed to the modifiers. I'm gonna drop the modifiers up there again, okay? Because like I said, the modifiers change the service. This is just step by step book. So pull this book out and your CPT. I want you to go to this modifier section in your CPT book because you're going to do this combined with the CPT book. Okay, this combined with the CPT book. Okay, the modifiers, what do they do, y'all? Right, they change the service. Good, they change the service. The modifiers change the procedure. If the doctor or the surgeon is in there doing something more than he was supposed to do, we need to add another a modifier. We add 25 because he did the surgery, he did laceration, he stitched her up, and he gave her evaluation on her migraines. He did two different things, so we need a modifier dropped on 25. Here is 26. Did we pass 26? Well, we passed 26. But 26 modifier, if you need to use a 26 modifier and you forget it, Epic is going to kick it back, or Athena is going to kick it back. Epic is a hospital EHR. Athena is more the physician EHR. They still use I don't know who still uses IDX. I know IDX is like a million years old, but people suggest I think eClinical works is like your secondary. I see a lot of doctors using that. Okay, but again, and your modifiers. I was talking about 26, right? 26. 26 modifier is one that we use all the time. Where is it at? We must have talked about it already. Professional component. Modifier 26 is used to designate the professional. Professional as in the position. Remember hierarchy. The physicians are hierarchy, then you come down to the other ones. Physician assistants and XYZ. Component of procedures that have both professional and technical. So I got it in parentheses. Okay? Technician plus equipment, modifier, and the TC. What do you guys normally, some of you who already code, what do you normally see the 26 in? The x-rays, right? The x-rays. Because sometimes the x-ray machine that's at the facility doesn't belong to the facility. Sometimes the x-ray machine belongs to the provider, right? You got to know when to put those codes in there, right? Absolutely, absolutely. That's why I want y'all to, y'all ain't got to promise me, but I'm saying promise that y'all going to do at least 2 hours of reading tonight. Okay? And I want y'all to answer these questions here. Okay? Exercises 10 to 1. I want y'all to do these exercises right here. This is for YTU. YouTube University, if you guys are up to this, you guys should be past this. But if you guys are up to this, I want you guys to do these questions right here, okay? Modifier 32, mandated services. 33, preventative service. Once you start, how do I get back in here? Once you start your course, once you say, I want to do billing and coding, keep at it. Keep at it. Those of you, let's say you start today. I have 3 playlists. One playlist says medical billing and coding virtual course. That's the medical billing course. The other playlist says medical terminology. That's the full medical terminology course. The other playlist says coding. That's this course. The classes are all numbered. Sapphire ED CDG 1. CDG is coding. Sapphire ED MT2 medical terminology. Sapphire MIB 1 medical insurance billing. This is made for you to follow it. You don't need to sit in a classroom. This is an online course. Go to those medical billing chapters and you will learn how to do medical insurance billing. The books that you need, I know I'm 51 in, the books that you need are in the chats. If you don't want to look at the full chats, go to the video that says books. Okay, go to the video that says books. Okay, so the modifiers. So again, 47 anesthesia by surgeon. Please make sure you guys set some reading aside for yourself. So I'm definitely going to be consistent this week. I'm going to be consistent this week. So I know it's terrible, but I don't care if I'm consistent or not. Y'all better look at the chapters, look at the videos. Okay, subscribe to my Twitch, subscribe to my Instagram, whatever it is I got in there. Subscribe. Well, what else is it? TikTok. Subscribe to TikTok. Don't sleep on my Facebook, Sapphire Physician Coding. Everything around the clock is Sapphire Physician Coding, y'all. Okay, this is one that I want you guys to definitely take heed to. 50 bilateral procedures. The same procedure is performed on a mirror age organ of the body. Mirror age as in it is the same or left or right. Okay, modifier 50 indicates a bilateral procedure. Okay, put it up so y'all can see it. Okay, this is where I'm at. Okay, I'm talking about modifier 50. I don't care if you read it 1,000 times, read it so that you can get used to it. You see that on the test, you won't have to be looking for it. It's in your CPT book. Yes, it is. But if you know it, you don't save 60 seconds. And guess what we're using those 60 seconds on? Absolutely, open cases, okay? But y'all know open and close is open and close questions. A, B, C, D, boom, 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 we done. Your cases, you're going to have to read them, okay? Okay, and if you don't know how to speed read or drop read, you're done. You're done. You're going to have to, you need that extra minute that you took away from the open and close, okay? I know, if you remind me one more time what time it is. Okay, I set it for 1 hour. But y'all know I have done 2 hours before, and then we just did like the 15. But I didn't set this now. I got something to do after this. Okay, so again, we're almost done. And in your step-by-step book, we're up to modifiers, okay? So I'm not going to go over all of them, but this is what you should be doing from this class. Okay, this is what you should be doing from this class. And they give you a good example of if you put a modifier or if you leave out a modifier, how much money difference it will be. So that's also in there. Okay, the next thing that we're going to do in here is we're going to start talking about evaluation and management services. Not today. Okay, we're going to discuss what else is in these sections. Okay, so the modifiers is part of your book. It is in a section of your book. So that's one of the things that we wanted to do. I don't know why I didn't put that 15-minute in it because I could have just took a 15 minutes and then we could go ahead and finish this. Um, and your modifiers, let me see if there's anything else in there. We did the left hand 56 F5A6, so we went over that, so I want you guys to check that out. There is a section in here where it gives you kind of like a coding shot, so I want you guys to go ahead and try that out. If you get stuck, you get stuck. I mean, you're just testing yourself, that's all. You're just testing yourself. This is the coding, the modifier section. So let me just see. I want to see if evaluation management has, yeah, no. So she's just pretty much going over the evaluation management. All right, so that's pretty much the objective in evaluation management. I don't want to do that today, but I would like to do that in a second session. Okay, so we're talking about anesthesia, surgery, integumentary. Okay, so we're going to do those sections. I'm trying to see if we're able to do those sections in one shot. Uh, Let me see what she has in here. Let's see what she has in here. No, we cannot. Okay, so we cannot do the sections in one shot. Why, Miss Lambert? Because in these sections, I still have to show you about the unlisted codes, okay, and the modifiers that are current and the ones that are not current, okay, and other types of reporting that you're going to do in case the code does not exist. So that's one of the reasons why I can't. And let me see. Surgery, the same thing. So there's special reports and stuff in surgery. So this is how we got to do this. The evaluation and management will be a separate class. Okay, anesthesia, surgery, and integumentary we're going to do in one shot. Okay, evaluation and management we're going to do in second class. You have to have your book for evaluation management. Are we here in E&M? No. Okay, hold on. Why didn't switch? All right, so I'm gonna put this up. Evaluation and management is going to be long. You see how my book is, and after I just went in there, we can't do it in one shot. So I was thinking we were going to do it in one shot, but it would be it would be too much cramming for y'all. So what I could do, um, maybe we could just do like a 15. Maybe we can do like a 15, and then we can come back at it. So I could squeeze evaluation and management in there because evaluation and management it's not going to be part of your series. It's evaluation and management. So your series, as in your sections, is anesthesia down. So even though we're going over the CPC sections already, I still want you guys to have a learning process where you're not being crammed. So that's the reason I don't do the cramming. Evaluation and management is in your CPT book. It is in the front of your CPT book, and then you start your surgery sections. You start your surgical sections. You guys let me know if you want to keep it moving. We keep it moving because evaluation management you need to know step by step, and evaluation management has ambulatory in there, and ambulatory is one of the things that I think is the most challenging, because I've gotten a lot of emails for the ambulatory section, which are kind of when you get to the office section for new patient, established patient, I think that's okay. Let me see what I can skim so I can kind of show you some of what I'm talking about before we even get to the anesthesia section. Um, so I don't know if you guys can see this, but this is what's in the E and M section. E and M is evaluation and management. Okay. So, and I got to put that on the title. That's why I don't want to go over it completely. We got it. I have to do another thumbnail for this because it's going to be evaluation and management. Period. We've done evaluation and management, but that was the overall review. This is the class. So, evaluation and management, new patient, 99202, 99205, established patient, 99211, 99215. What's the difference between the new patient, established patient? The new patient is she's just walking in, she's getting an overall checkup. Okay, she's got to see a provider either in the group or she's seeing a provider outside of the group. Established patient is a patient who's already been there. Telemedicine, you already know that's somebody who does a workup over the phone, okay, video, okay, and then there's audio only. I'm not gonna go over this, but I'm just giving you a heads up of what the next class is and what we get ready to do, because I'm already over. I'm an hour over. So what we're gonna do is, I'm gonna do another thumbnail, because I got to put the E&M in there. Since I wanna do the E&M and get it out the way, so we can go ahead and get to the series. E&M is going to be long. You guys see what's up here? So if you guys don't have your book, I don't know. You know what? Get the Kindle. That Kindle book has up to musculoskeletal system. The CPT book from Kindle, I'm gonna put it back up there. Where is it at? Oh, it's not up there. Oh, here it is. I don't know if y'all can see me moving this down. Here it is. This CPT book right here has this in it. So if you don't have your CPT book yet, or if you don't have your step-by-step book, I got a link for the step-by-step book. Oh, okay, let's find it. I don't have a link for the step-by-step. Why would I not have a link for the step-by-step book? Okay, hold on, y'all. I know I have a link for the step-by-step book. The step-by-step book is the same link. Well, it's not the same link, but it is the same. I got it the same way for some of my students that don't have access to books. Oh, so I still have this stuff. So let's go see if they get. I did, because this is where I bought it from. So there's no way I got it. Step by step, step by step, step. Here it is. Step by step. Okay, so this is it. So this is it. So in case some of y'all are new to my class, and maybe some of y'all do not have your book, I did find the ebook for. Let me see. So I wonder why it doesn't show right there, and why is it taking so long? Or maybe it just had to reload because I haven't been in there. Okay, so, and again, you can get this book from elsevier.com if you choose to. So here's the link. I'm going to share the link with you guys. So this is the link for this step-by-step book that I have up there. Now, I haven't gone through the sample one on. Okay, so there it is. So this is a link to the step-by-step book that's already up here. The one that I have is from elsevier.com, and this one is also, you can get it from Amazon or elsevier.com. But in case I have new students that do not have your book already, there's all kind of ways that you could get books to use to actually do this class and not purchase them. And that's one of the things of doing this class. In here, you guys see this right here? This is you see this right here? This is where I keep all the links for you guys to make sure you have links. I'm going to put that link. Matter of fact, I'm going to put that link in there for you guys. I don't want to miss that, because I actually thought I had it in here. But we're going to put that in here so we can make sure that you guys have that link. Because I know the books are pricey. That book is like $80 or something like that. But again, you can get the book for free, for what we're doing right now, which actually gives you time to actually get it. The CPT book that is here it goes all the way up to the musculoskeletal system. That's anesthesia you probably will get, integumentary, and then you get musculoskeletal system. So you see all of that. You talk about like by the time I get up to musculoskeletal system, it'd probably be January. So you have that's income tax time. I want to see y'all get your book income tax time. So again, that's what I want you guys to work with. So the next class, I'm gonna try to do it today. We're gonna try to do this. I'm gonna try to put it up for 1:30 because I want to get through evaluation and management. Okay, now that class is probably going to be 2 hours. So we started at 1:30. We're gonna be finished by 3:30. Okay, so we're gonna try to go ahead and do that today. So you guys make sure you come back so you can get in on that. And again, there's a 1,500 claim form actually in one of my chats if you want to look at that. So you guys, yeah, have over 500 and something chats, and those chats should be able to help you guys, especially when you are getting ready to take your CPC. Okay, because some of y'all are already up to the point where you're taking your CPC already, or you're getting ready to, or you are come to my class, or you're retaking, or you're trying to figure out what can you do next to try to help you with this test. Evaluation management is very long, so that's why I said we either going to be 2 hours, or I'm going to have to do two sessions with it before we start with the direct sessions. So you're talking about hospital, inpatient, observation care, consultation, emergency room department, new established patient, critical care, nursing facility, residence. Let me put this up so y'all can see what I'm looking at. So when you get your book, this is what I'm looking at. Only thing I'm doing is going over what I'm showing you. I'm showing you what we get ready to do. Prolonged services. Prolonged services is a doozy. 99358. 99359 99359. Make sure you got a calculator for this. And again, this is one of the reasons why you need to have your calculator on your CPC. So, and this is us. We get ready to creep up to, we get into the gusto of the coding. Yeah, we get ready to get, what do you say, Michelle? Yeah, you're right. This is it. Yeah, we finally getting into. She said we finally getting into the gusto of coding. Well, I mean, you have to do the light work before you get to the heavy work. So, yeah, we finally getting there, Michelle. So, prolonged services, 99415, 99416. Now, what you see in the 99, is evaluation and management. When you see 9, it's your medicine code. So you see what I'm saying? So yeah, we're getting ready to get into the gusto. Okay. So I'm gonna come back at it, and I'm gonna see you guys after I drop that thumbnail. Nah, the thumbnail. If we don't do it at 1:30, it might be a 3 hour class. I'm about to go over what I have to show y'all. If it turns out to be a 3 hour class, then we got to do it in the morning. Okay, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna 10. My best is gonna be 10. Okay, so let's shoot for 10. Okay. All right, so I'm logging off. I don't want anybody else to come on because I hate logging off when y'all are in the class. So y'all go gone. I see you guys tomorrow. Don't forget the links. Look down below and get the links. Don't forget to check on my website. I'm putting that up here first. The website is One Stop Shop. Okay. Yeah, TikTok is a problem. TikTok is a we can really deal with TikTok right now. I'm telling you right now. We can really deal with TikTok right now, y'all. All right, so I'll see you guys probably in the morning. All right, probably in the morning. Look at the videos. Okay, so let me stop this Twitch. I'm getting ready to unleash you. So you got to go to YouTube.